I love it.
So let's introduce today's guests with our guest VIP speaker, Elaine Atherton. So I'll let Elaine introduce today's guests. I'm just going to unmute you if I can. There you go, Elaine. So we've got today the wonderful Lawrence Laidlow and the awesome Luke Hill coming to join us. I'm going to let Elaine, when she comes into the room, explain more.
Fantastic. So yes, as you say, Ed, we've got two amazing guests with us today. One very much dear to my heart, of course, because he's in sales as well, and as we are, Ed. So that's going to be interesting, isn't it? So that's Lawrence Laidlow, who's our sales guy, so training specialist. We're going to hear more about you, Lawrence. And our second guest is Luke Hill. And Luke is such an interesting character. I defy anyone to dislike Luke. He's just so great at what he does. And he's in the sort of the financial world. So he's going to tell us more about what he does as well. So looking forward to the show.
Yeah, really looking forward to the show. I have to say, with a lead in like that, they've got to be good.
You can pay me later, guys. It's fine.
Everybody, welcome to the Gritty Business Show. If you've got any comments, etc., that you want us to give you a shout out or to pop anything out, please pop your questions in the comments. If you just want us to say hello to you, you want to shout out, come and say hello. Woo! Come say and introduce yourself in the comments. And we're going to be running through an action-packed show. But I do just have one little video to play. Because we've got an exciting thing happening. I think it's next Thursday, which is really quite interesting, which is our Christmas event. So let me give you a little bit of a teaser of that, Elaine. Awesome, eh? Our Christmas event next week. We've got lots of really good people coming in and speaking. I think I'm doing a slot. I'm doing some slots on sales. Are you doing a slot, Elaine?
I am. I can't come on it live on Thursday because I look after my gorgeous grandsons on Thursday. But I am doing a recording, which is going to be a bonus bit actually that everybody who signs up for it is going to get. So it's it's sort of look about how you next year how you can think about different income streams of, you know, should you have your free stuff? Does it work? Do you have your lower paid stuff or lower price stuff and your higher end stuff? So it's going to be a food for thought for next year, I'd say, for people.
How exciting. No, really, really good fun. So we're looking forward to that. So if anybody wants to come, it's a free event and you're more than welcome. Fantastic. So without too much further ado, should we talk about bringing in our first guest? Oh, by the way, I've just had some comments come in the comments box.
Oh, let's have a look.
I know Andrew Hatcher's come in, the founder of the Cobra Club. Looks like a great event lineup, he says. Hi guys, great show today. I couldn't say anything better myself. Let's play a short video, and then we're going to bring in the awesome Lawrence Laidlow. So bear with me 2 seconds.
We are indeed.
While I work out a button to press, because
I'm so glad you're in charge of the buttons.
I've got lots of buttons to press. I have to sort of wait it up. Here we go.
So here we are then. We've got our first guest.
Here he comes, Lawrence Laidlow. We've got that.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, here he is.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, Lawrence.
I'm struggling to hear you on my speaker here. It's really difficult. So I'm gonna put you to my ear to hear what you guys are saying. So as long as you can hear me, that's good.
Perfectly, sir.
We could definitely hear you.
Speak. I can't hear. Hello?
Oh no.
Hello.
No, this is really embarrassing.
No, we can do it by...
My technology's let me down.
We can do it in the form of dance. That's just really good technology. Let's have a.
Well, I know what you do, Lawrence. So can you hear me at all?
What? Can you hear us now?
If I put the phone to my ear, I can hear you, but I can't put it on loudspeaker for some reason.
If I had any idea about technical stuff, I'd explain to you how to do it.
Well, I mean, do you think, would it help if we went to Luke first, and perhaps we did? Do you think there's anything you can switch or change, or will that help?
I don't know. It's just weird because I actually lost you there trying to put my sound system back together. Like I say, you can ask me questions, and I'll put the phone to my ear so I can hear you when I'm doing that. But I'm hoping you can hear me when I put my face to the camera.
We can hear you. We can hear you perfectly.
I had to come to a networking event. I was in Newcastle for work last night, so I've come to a networking event this morning. I thought I'd just log in on my phone to do this, and then not realizing I should have maybe tested it, or the last time I did test it, it worked. So I've got no idea.
Don't worry. Look, Lawrence, why don't you give us an overview of what you do?
No, I heard you say don't worry, and that was the end of it.
Give me an overview of what you do. Can you tell me about you and about what you do?
My sound's gone completely now.
Why do you want to drop off and see if you can fix it? We'll bring Luke in next.
I think that might be wise, mightn't it? I think.
So I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to kill you off for a moment, my friend, lovingly. So I'm going to remove you from the screen while you try and sort that out.
I've got absolutely no sound on this now. Can you hear me though? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No swearing. You're in the Big Brother house here.
I'm going to remove you from the screen. You need probably to log off and log back on again. Why don't you log off and log back on again, and we'll speak to Luke.
Okay, try that. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good. Right.
Well.
Okay.
Let's hope Luke's ready. That's a start. Here we go. So let's welcome Luke. Luke, why don't you come and join us? How are you doing, Luke?
Are you doing all right? I think I'm okay.
Well, do you know what? That's you're definitely okay. We can hear you, and you can hear us. That's a big tick first, anyway. Fantastic. Yeah,
it works.
Great to have you here, Luke. Anyway, so as I said in the intro, you're sort of about helping people, or advise people with financial advice, aren't you? So tell us sort of how you ended up there and a bit about what you do. I think people would like to hear that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, I was on here about 6 months ago, so things have changed. I've now been upgraded to a shed, so I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. No, it's good. It's good. But yeah, in terms of me, yeah. So my art, I guess, is helping people make sense of their financial framework. I've been doing this for about 2 years now. I kind of fell into it from a more retail banking background because, as we all know, that kind of industry is shrinking by the day. And I kind of took the plunge before things really happened. So I'm loving it. I'm self-employed. It's just me. And I'm really enjoying looking after the people that I look after.
Fantastic. So I'm going to ask you the question because I when I do my podcast, I always ask people this question: what makes you different from other people? Then, so I would give people go to you.
Wow, that's a tough. Thanks for that, Elaine. No, I think that's a good question. I mean, I was thinking about this morning actually, and I think I see there's lots of us around. Don't get me wrong, but I think the most important thing is finding somebody that you trust. I think that's the most important thing. And I see a lot of advisors talking about their goals and how they're going to help clients achieve them. But to be honest with you, I find that people don't actually know what their financial goals are. I'm kind of in that camp as well. So I primarily focus on one thing, and most people want to know this, and that's answering if they're going to be okay. Because fundamentally or subconsciously, that's what we're after. So I'm in the space of showing people if they're going to have enough for the rest of their lives. And I try and keep things simple. And yeah, I'll leave it as that.
That peace of mind is what people are looking for, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. And if you especially during these times at the moment, if you can provide that, then that's half the battle.
Yeah,
100%. I don't think people often think that far into the future. It's a difficult thing to do, isn't it? Because
I think more recent events now, last 18 months has definitely prompted more conversations around that space.
Rise in that sort of
massively. So I mean, I'm sure my peers will agree with me. There's definitely been an uplift in sort of queries and bits and pieces, which is good because we're all in the same game helping people.
Do you think that sort of comes from the fact that, nobody could have predicted what would happen? So it's almost like, well, the unexpected can happen. So we've got to sort of plan a bit.
Yeah, more. I mean, last time I was on here, literally, I think Putin had just invaded Ukraine. Literally, I think the week before, me, Ed, and Andy were talking about it. And so what's the strategy, what's going forward? So it's interesting to kind of reflect back on that. And when you compile that with the mess that the government have made, it's just made people just really appreciate what they've got and make things work harder for themselves, basically.
Here by the grace. I think COVID also focused people's minds on their health and the future and
and we've luckily at Cobra we've got lots of great people that kind of cover all bases. So we're kind of grateful for that fact as well. So whatever your concern is, there's a professional within Cobra that can help you.
Yeah, no, it's good, definitely. So a sort of question, I suppose, really is for you. That people are nervous about investing, are they? What sort of things should they be doing, do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's a very topical question and something I get asked a lot.
And before you answer it,
yes, go for it.
If you can think of 3 top tips for people, it would be really, really quick. It would be really, really good. And if I could find my top tips video, here it is. Okay. No, I'm not doing it again.
Wait, again,
what are your top tips?
Top tips, 3 top tips. Okay, so at the moment, I would strongly suggest if everybody's understandably nervous about markets and investing in general at the moment, so I want to bring back something which has been around for a while, and that's investing on a monthly basis. So people are faced with this dilemma of, do I invest a lump sum or do I drip feed it in installments? Because last thing people want is for a shortfall in the markets as they invest. So if you invest on a monthly basis, you are not as exposed to market volatility, and you're taking advantage of these lower prices on a monthly basis, because the media create a lot of noise, as we all know, and they love pointing to the fact that prices are low. But then what they're not explaining is that you get a lot more units for your monthly investment. So it's a good way of hedging a bit against risk, and you collect these units at a lower price. There is a flip side. So if there's a steep recovery in the markets, then you kind of miss out. But to be honest, it's about you. So if it gives you peace of mind, then that's the best way forward. So that's the first one, is investing monthly.
It's interesting as well, because I think the whole world of investing, because of low interest rates, etc., I think it's been off the radar with a lot of people, because they've been thinking, what's the point? You've had banks saying we'll give you negative interest rates and all this sort of stuff. So people have been encouraged to look at other, probably more risky forms of investment, things like cryptocurrency and all that sort of good thing, because they're looking for a return. Is that now changing in the marketplace? Is there more? Is it a better deal for investors nowadays?
I think it's gone the other way. I think obviously savings rates are the highest they've been for the last 10 years. Obviously, you could argue that's still not really denting inflation, but I still think there's a place for cash, even more so now. My clients have a certain percentage in cash to be safe. Crypto, I know there's people here that are a big part of it, and I'm not here to kind of express an opinion on how they do things, but me personally, I'm not involved in that at the moment. And I think given how volatile that is, because Bitcoin at the moment is
it's almost gambling, isn't it? Really?
Exactly. So I definitely wouldn't see that as kind of a haven for helping you grow through resources. But investing in general, it's volatile. Let's not get around that. But I think as long as you understand the markets, or you explain them before you take part and know what's kind of going to happen, then that takes the edge off.
But it seems every other advert on TV is an advert for stocks and shares on your mobile phone, and
and you got to be careful with that, because you got a lot of companies. For example, with pensions, you've got a lot of people saying just consolidate it all, put it into one pot, we'll look after it for you. But with historic stuff, there's a lot of protections. For example, you might have a pension that has extra tax-free cash, and once you take it out of that wrapper, that's it, gone forever. So just be really careful with these sorts of companies.
I was going to ask you that question actually, Luke, because with people potentially moving jobs more, they have got little pots of pensions all over the place, haven't they? What would you advise if there's somebody listening now who's in that situation? They might have like 5 little pots dotted around. What's the best thing to do?
My ethos is it's a good question. My ethos is build on what you already have. So you might have 5 separate pots in your example, Elaine. One pot might offer really good value, low charges, good fund choices, and all that good stuff. And you need to know what does what first before making any decisions at all. So don't just go through a massive clear exercise and say, brilliant, it's in one pot. Look at what you've got. And you might end up consolidating 4 into one you already have, because it's saving you money. But you have to find out that information first.
And so someone like you helps people with that, I guess. Is that what you would do?
That is. I mean, people can do it themselves. People choose to get advice to do it at the same time. But I don't care if you do it through an advisor or not. Just please don't do it offhand. And
is there a difference between? You touched on monthly saving on a monthly basis. Is there a difference between doing that as a monthly savings plan and a pension, or is it one and the same?
I mean, the pension is basically the most tax efficient wrapper the UK has to offer. Wherever you save monthly, it's the same kind of rules behind it. You can save monthly into a pension, which is what most people do anyway. You can save monthly into an ISA. It just depends on at which stage in your life you need money, because obviously the longer term you do it in a pension, and if it's shorter term, ISA, and then cash after that. So the principles are the same. You just have to decide which pot of money you need when.
And that's where having a chat with you is probably quite a good idea, isn't it? To sort of understand.
Because I'm sort of flying the flag for the profession as a whole. I think not any financial advisor, do your homework first, but we're here for a reason and to help people through that.
No, I agree. There's a great question from Graham Bayliss. I'm assuming it's for you, and this will mean something to you. Luke, is ever heard of GS Partners?
GS Partners? I haven't, I'm afraid. Not come across GS Partners. I'm not sure if that's a representative of Cobra Club or not, but
maybe that's because it's aimed at Ed and I. They're a technical team. Maybe it's that.
All right, maybe it's
Exactly.
I must just say hi to the people who are coming in. They're all commenting about the technical issues that we have. So here we go. So hi, Sam.
Okay.
Gotta love technology.
Yeah.
I'll just say hi to him quickly. Oh, that's Andy saying it. And then we'll say basically all the comments are the same. Bless them all. And Judith Hamilton has come in. So hi, Judith. Really good to hear from you. And again, obviously, hello to Graham Bayliss. Major disarray. Fantastic.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So I think we sabotaged your 3 tips there.
No, it's fine. I'll pick the other 2. So I think the second one is definitely cash is a lot more media attention around cash savings at the moment, and we're finally at a period where you should be looking at what you've got again. So there's some rates better than others. Do not settle for convenience. It's with my bank. I'm just going to keep it alongside my current account. If you've got cash savings, 100%, just make sure you're going out there to get the best rate. Because as an advisor, like all the other advisors out there, emergency savings are really important. And just get the best rate you can. And then the third point is, obviously there's been so much change in legislation, and people are coming to me all the time saying, what does this mean? What change is that going to happen? If you don't know how it's going to impact you, just speak to somebody that kind of knows how it works. Because, for example, my job is to know and navigate through any changes in legislation and how it applies to the people I look after. So if you're worried, if you're nearing retirement and you're thinking, well, wow, how's this going to impact me? Just speak to somebody that kind of deals with it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Tell me how you go about doing that. I mean, is your time for free? Do you charge? How does that sort of work?
Yeah, I mean,
are you paying for good advice? Or
I mean, people like me and most of us out there, I mean, you'll always get an initial discussion straight away for up to an hour, absolutely free of charge. I think it's really important that you know the person you're speaking to and you feel like you can trust them. And it's a two-way street as well, because obviously you need to have a good working relationship. After that, thankfully, since RDR 2008, 2009, things are a lot more transparent now. So you basically get advice in the form of what's called a suitability letter. And on there, you've got exactly the work that needs to take place and any costs involved. So you've got all that information before anything takes place, and you can decide if you want to go through with it. So yeah, it's very transparent. Most people offer a conversation for free of charge anyway, and that's the best way to do it.
And you do the same. So if I put your details on the bottom of the screen, if somebody wants to book an appointment with you, just have a chat, informal.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. It's just asking questions. And because I'm from a retail banking background, as I said at the very start, I'm getting queries about kind of savings accounts and sort of more general things. So that's built into the whole picture. But yeah, I'll chat to anybody, to be honest with you.
And you mentioned pensions, and obviously a lot of people who are all part of the Cobra Club, aren't they? A lot of people are self-employed.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's obviously, something that needs to get on the radar of self-employed people, definitely, doesn't it? Because we can sort of be a bit deluded.
I mean,
thinking you can do it later.
Yeah. As a nation, we just don't save enough for retirement, and all being self-employed. I mean, recent changes, sort of the dividend allowance going from 2,000 to 1,000 to 500. That changes the way that you can extract money from your business if it's a limited company. So these are all kind of, the tree's been shaken basically, and if you're confused about it, definitely speak to somebody that kind of knows the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I think with all these the regulations that have come in to make sure that people are doing giving the right advice, etc. Actually, they give good advisors a huge amount of sort of kudos, because it's not easy to be able to give the advice that you give. You have to go through a lot of training and pass a lot of exams to be able to advise people if you're doing it properly. And you should probably, what sort of things should I be looking for from my advisor to be sure that they are a good advisor? What sort of qualifications should you have?
Yeah, so a minimum qualification is level 4. So diploma level 4 finance. So since the changes sort of over 10 years ago now, that's the minimum standard. I think personally the FCA will make advisors reach a level 6 standard. So I myself aren't there yet. I'm 2 out of 5 exams of getting there, but there's loads of good advisors that are what's called chartered. So that's usually a good indication. And there's usually a whole host of really good review, unbiased, objective websites. So Vouched For is one of them. You've got Unbiased. There's loads of websites out there. So if you come across an advisor you're thinking, actually, hang on a minute, what's this guy's history? You can put in their name and just see all the reviews that have been written up as well. So
because I think there's also that the company can be good, but the advisor might not be so good. So it's a case of
exactly.
The right advisor you get on with, and sort of just to get
the most important thing is you getting on with the person you're working with. That's hands down fundamentally the right thing to do. So like I said, there's loads of sites out there that can help you do it.
Okay, now I'm gonna throw a curveball in here, okay?
Yeah.
So
we've got some comments as well, by the way, Ed. So when you've done that,
I'll come back and do those. I'm just gonna annoy the pants out of Luke by asking him a question that's totally unrelated to finance.
I remember this last time, actually.
I know, just to keep you on your toes. So, and it's probably the same. No, I'm joking. Hopefully, it's not the same one you got last time. But here we go. Watch the video and give me an answer to this question. So, Luke, being a financial sort of chap,
it's nothing financial about this.
Where in the past would you go to if you possibly could?
Well, I've got this fascination with old London. So where there's taverns and gas street lights, and I've got this fascination. I'd love to go back for a day to old school London and just walk the streets and go into a few pubs and stuff, because I just watch all those films, Sherlock Holmes. Obviously Peaky Blinders is based around Birmingham, but obviously they've got a stint in London as well, and I just love that stuff, so that's what I do.
I wonder. You also think about smells, because
exactly, you can almost like
whole
kind of
experience
smell it as you're walking around. Absolutely. But I'm a bit of a weird history buff, so I kind of like that thing. I know it's not a very extravagant answer because it could have been anywhere in the world, but for me, that's what I do.
Extravagant answers are really very, very cool. I'm going to ask you a separate one as well. Financially, if you had some money in your pocket, what would be a really good point in time to have had that money in your pocket and to invested?
You know what? I think possibly now.
Yeah.
Genuinely now, because it's impossible to time markets, in my opinion, but you can take advantage of them. And with strategies such as what I mentioned on a monthly basis, things are kind of looking like there's going to be a bit of stability. But when things do recover, I think now is arguably a very good time to have it.
Good.
Which is difficult because obviously cost of living and stuff, it's almost impossible. But if you're in a lucky position to have it, then I think now.
I think you should plan, and even cost of living, you can plan how you afford things if you have a plan. But you need to have a plan. So that might be reducing the amount you do on a monthly basis for the next year or so. It might be increasing it. But I think the benefit of having someone you can talk to about it all, actually, if the advice is don't save anything right now, then that's the advice. That's good advice. So it's just understanding that advice and how it impacts upon you in the future and so on and so forth. Those chats are probably quite useful to have there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a profession, we all should be in the position where we'll talk to anybody that's got a query. So just reach out if you've got any of those questions and how to sort of plan for the future. Absolutely.
Okay, so Elaine,
right, we are. So we're going to go to so Graham's response was there we go, they are one of the investment houses that seem to offer great returns. So you've not heard of them, obviously, Luke, you said.
No, I mean there's lots of them out there. I think that might be a good one, it might not be, I'm not sure, but it's not one that I'm personally familiar with.
Okay, and this one, Judith's Hamilton listening in, she's going to drop you an email because she definitely needs to chat with you, which is good. She is a profit perfectionist, very good at what she does.
Absolutely. Hi Judith, nice to speak to you again, and absolutely anytime, just give me a shout.
I think that's one of the benefits of the Cobra Club, really, is that you meet lots of people who are specialists in their own little field, And actually, by pulling everybody together, you can offer really good support and help to your
yeah.
Sorry.
Is that Lawrence calling you, Ed?
I have no idea. I don't know how to turn it off either.
This is funny. I tell you what, when I did it with Andy, I never had this trouble. Let me tell you, Luke.
It's all good. It's all good.
I love it. Love it.
I'm so sorry. Here we go. Technical stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Normally you press the off button on the phone that stops ringing, and my one doesn't.
That usually works, doesn't it? But,
so my advice is don't buy this phone if you. No, I'm joking.
No, it's fine. But yeah, Judith, anytime. Oh yeah, we can have a conversation. That's not a problem.
Well,
fantastic.
Thank you so much. Listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a short video, and we're going to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much, Luke.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Coming in, and then maybe Elaine and I can have a little chat around around our other guest, and then make sure that we sort of give him a good. He's coming back in, I think. We'll try again with Lawrence.
We'll try and give it one more shot.
Yeah, we'll give it one more go. I can still see his ear by the side of the phone.
Yeah.
So he's waving. So hopefully he'll be all right. But thank you so much for coming in. It's been absolutely brilliant. Everybody's saying thank you. Judith is saying thank you. So yes, no.
Yeah, thanks, Luke, for your words of wisdom. Definitely.
That's all right. Nice to see you all again.
And you. And we're going to play a very short video because I love my short video. And if I can actually get one to do it. And I'm going to play a little video about what we call the circle, which is our internal social media where we all chat to each other. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon, Luke. Cheers.
See you later.
Bye, Luke.
Bye-bye.
Here's the man himself. Hello, Lawrence. How are you? Great. We can hear you. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Just I put it on speakerphone, and it keeps fading in and out. So I've just had to log off and log back in again to try and hear you properly without sticking it to my ear. So hopefully this'll hold.
No, fantastic. We've got you.
You got me.
Marvelous. Oh, Lawrence. I know
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Shots in your ear here. Right. Should we just ask the question? Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do. I think that's a good one.
Okay. I'm one of those blokes. Basically, I've always been in sales. I'm a round person in a square hole, and nothing has ever kind of fitted around jobs or anything. So I've always ended up in sales, and I found I was quite good at it. Ever since I started. I'm back in Newcastle here, and I'm literally around the corner from where my sales career actually started. And it started selling diets on the streets of Newcastle some 35 years ago. And it's just good to walk past there to get to this pub this morning where the networking event was. So, yeah, I've always done sales. And I suppose really it was more a necessity. I didn't set out to leave the Air Force and start selling stuff. But it was one of them things. I could work it part-time around my son, who incidentally was here networking this morning for his business. So it's been one of them things. I've just enjoyed the journey. And over the years, I've sold just about everything you can imagine. And it got to the point where I started being recruited to train other companies, sales agents and distributors. So I got into sales training as well as selling myself, and I still sell to this day. I've got an appointment this morning, 1 o'clock this afternoon in Sunderland. I had an appointment yesterday and I sold that one. So I still sell, and all I'm doing really is teaching people how I sell, and I share my methodology with people to help them become better salespeople. But having said all that, I don't sell a single solitary thing. I just tell stories, and I influence people in a what's the word I'm looking for? Using integrity, right? So you've got influence and skills, but you have to do it with integrity. You can't force people to buy something by getting them or influence them to do something they don't want to do. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It's got to be done with integrity. But part of what I do is killing the competition. So when I'm in front of people, I get them to agree that there's nothing else but the product that I'm selling, and that's what they want, basically.
Very good. So it's better to have people buying from you rather than you selling to them. Is that what you'd say?
Pretty much. At this moment in time, I still sell wall curtains. It's like a fancy render. And by the time I get to see people, I've already price conditioned them. I've already explained what I don't do. So we don't do the cheap stuff, but we're not the most expensive on the market. Is that something you are happy to go with? So even before I go on the appointment, they know I'm coming out to talk to them about something that's really, really expensive. And once I get there, then I kill off the competition and I get them to agree. I don't just say that's rubbish. I explain what the other options are, and I ask the questions, would you have that on your home? And as soon as they say no, I go on to the next one. I kill off the next competitor. I kill off the next one. And then I ask a question similar to this. So that's the options you've got available to you. Could you even consider having any of that on your house? Now, at this point, if they say yes, I go back and say, what is it about that one you enjoyed or you liked? Do you really want damp in your house? And I just carry on like that until they say, well, no, not really. Okay, let me tell you about mine. And then I start asking them questions about what's more important, looks or the warmth of your home, yada, yada, yada. And then when I get down to the pricing, remember, I've already price conditioned them over the phone before I get there. It's just literally a simple case of, so we're going to do all of this work. I then go out and do a survey on their home. I come in and they're expecting a price around about, well, I say yesterday they were expecting a price of about £19,500. I actually give them an ethical price drop, and I came in at, I think it was 16,400. We signed it up immediately.
Yeah.
But
so
all of that,
you're very much advocating a process there, aren't you?
Oh, God, absolutely. Yeah, sales is a process. I was just telling a young lad this morning, he's just started his own business. I'm saying the first thing you've got to do is work out who your ideal clients are, and then you develop the process. And for me, that process has got to be find the ideal prospect, and then you've got to start the whole process of what comes first, price conditioning or inviting them into your premises, or you invite yourself to their premises. Then you've got to kill off the competition. Then you've got to go through your presentation of your product. And then you've got to go through what I hate saying is the close, because this is the bit where a lot of people fall down. But you've got to get to the close. Then it's normally objection handling, and then it's basically signing the paperwork. And there's one other bit that most people don't understand, and that's your consolidation, basically making sure they don't cancel the order. And for me, that's when I talk to the wife, and the wife alone. It's got nothing to do with the husband, this little bit, because he might want a season ticket for his favorite football team, and she wants this stuff on the wall to make her house look pretty. So I'll talk to her about something along the lines of, Mary, take one last look at the state of your house now, because when we're finished, you're going to have the most beautiful looking house on the street. I guarantee he's not getting his football season ticket. She's getting this rendering.
Absolutely.
But it's done ethically.
So tell me, if you had to give a top tip, and I'm going to play a short video, so bear with me. Okay. Think about your top tips that you would give someone who was maybe thinking about entering into the sales field, or someone who was looking to recruit sales team. Yeah,
to recruit salespeople.
So let me just play my recruit salespeople, or if you're sales starting out. So here we go. What's your top tip?
So, a top tip. I think in sales, my biggest top tip. I told somebody this morning. You got to be yourself. When I first started in sales, I met a multi-millionaire who was in the multi-network marketing, and I tried to emulate this fella for about 6 months, and I watched all my sales and my recruiting fall to the floor because I wasn't being myself, and people understood. They sense when a salesperson isn't being genuine. And it's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. So I could not be myself. And I think people get this when I go out and sell to them. And I think the same with every salesperson. If you're not yourself, if you're uncomfortable in a role, you're not going to be very good at it, in my humble opinion. Get yourself a job where you're allowed to be yourself. And if you're in a business and you've got to sell to, you know, members of the public or business to business, you've got to be really comfortable with what you're doing. And nothing gets that comfortableness or that comfort more than knowledge of your product, having faith in your ability that you know what your product is, and then just talk to prospects like you would talk to your best friend down the pub. You wouldn't try and sell to your friend. You'd explain the features and benefits of what it is you've got. And then he'd probably say, hey, that's quite good. Can I have some? That's the kind of conversation you want to have when you're in sales. So
tell me, what do you think the difference between the word feature and the word benefit is? I know it sounds obvious, but it isn't, is it?
No, it's not. I've got a glass here, right? The feature is it's see-through. The benefit is I know when it needs topping up.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
I did a whole workshop on features and benefits once for a company up here in Newcastle, actually, and they own so many different businesses that are a house building company. They had a Harley Davidson dealership. They had several other. They had an accountancy practice, and I did a whole workshop on features and benefits because most of them think they sell. Well, the motorbike guys, they thought they just sold motorbikes. They don't. They're great mind maker upperers. And Harleys are expensive, so they're kind of pitching a much more expensive product. So we did this whole feature and benefit thing. And if people don't understand the features and benefits of their own products, I would urge them to sit down and do a little exercise and take all the features and then work out the benefits. Because when you're out there selling those products, you don't just say, this is a glass and it's clear, you can see through it. You ask the questions. So would a see-through glass help you better than a solid glass? And then whichever way they answer that question, that's where you take your pitch. You would then pitch the feature to tailor-make their solution, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I think people have to understand their business and understand the niches within their business. Graham's just put in a comment that, you know, his niche is any business who has a snoring website, because it must be sleeping, no one's looking at it. So people have a website, which is a feature, if you like. What's the benefit of that website to your business? Is understanding what it can do for you. So I think a lot of people need to understand that better than they do, don't they?
I think people do. You should understand it, and it's not difficult to work out all your features and put the benefit alongside of it, and then it's just a case of explaining those features and benefits to a would-be prospect.
100%. 100%. Should we ask Elaine? Should we ask Lawrence a question just to keep him on his toes?
Oh, I think so. I think we should.
Go on, then.
I'm gonna wait. You have to watch the video, so I'm gonna put it on, and then you've got to answer the question afterwards. So here we go.
Okay. Well, that's an easy one to answer. My greatest inspiration is a man called Jim Rohn. He's probably the world's, or well, he was, poor fella passed away a few years ago, but I got to meet him 3 times in my sales career. And he's got to be, or was, one of the world's greatest business philosophers. And he shared his philosophy. He started off as a farm boy in Idaho, and he became a multi-millionaire, and he toured the world with a Herbalife organization, teaching their distributors to basically be better than they are. And like I said, I met him 3 times. The last time I met him was in Monte Carlo, and he remembered my name. And I said, if I'm on a long yeah, it was pretty good. And we're sharing champagne out of the bottle. It's brilliant fun. But it's one of those things. When I'm on a long journey, I always listen to inspirational, motivational speakers, the likes of Anthony Robbins, who incidentally worked with Jim Rohn. If you ever listen to Anthony Robbins' stuff, you'll hear Jim Rohn. And I always listen to this motivational stuff, self-development. My car's a mobile classroom. So I'm always inspired by the greats like Jim. But I think he changed my life when I got involved in sales.
I think Elaine would agree with you on that. I think it's
100%. I spent a lot of time with Jim Rohn in my car as well on my many journeys.
Awesome.
Yeah, I worked for Anita Roddick, who was one awesome lady as well. So yeah, absolutely. So we've got a couple of Seb has responded here with a couple of phrases that he uses. Would that benefit you? Obviously, really good question. Listen to the answers, key, isn't it? And what do you like best? So it's, they're very specific, aren't they? The two phrases that get prospects talking positively about your products, which is all good. So thank you.
It's all about questions. If you, influencing is about asking questions that you want them to give you the answer to. So, a perfect example, a couple of days ago, I was talking to a doctor about the render on her house. And she's got all the molds coming in. And I just simply said, has your kids got asthma yet? And she goes, yeah, they do. And I know that. I knew they had it, but I needed them to understand. And I just drive that home for them. So I always ask questions rather than, oh, you better be careful, you might get asthma. Well, they can say no to that. But if you ask them a question, they've got to answer it honestly. And 99% of the time, if you've got damp in your home, one of your kids might just well have asthma or eczema. That's another big one these days. So by asking that question, I get them to focus a little bit more on why they need this new render, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I think Judith has also commented. I think she's saying just being yourself is the trick to being a really good salesperson. So being yourself is so true, Lauren. She's applauding you for that. I
agree. Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. I would never, and I have never sold anything that I don't really like or I get excited about myself. So this wall coat stuff, when I first started, it was about 25 years ago, I started selling wall coatings. And I actually had it on my own house because I believed in it. I was my own first customer and I got the commission. Thank you very much. So,
that's what we like.
So good about myself. I love it.
They were shocked that their salesman wanted this stuff on their own house. And I went, no, it makes perfect sense. I can show people it. When I was selling diets, I lost 4 stone in weight myself. I wasn't just flogging a diet. I was telling people, look, this is the result you get. So, be yourself and tailor make everything about you and your experience with what you're selling.
So tell me, if I was someone thinking about coming into sales, or if I was a company that wanted your help, how would I go about getting involved with you?
Just have a talk with me. I look at sales as simple, really. Let's not get complicated. There's always someone gonna buy something. And if people want to hire me, just have a conversation, because I don't care what their business is. Sales is about people. And I might not understand their product yet, but I'll understand who they're trying to sell it to. And then we'll work out all the features and benefits which are going to benefit the prospect you're looking for. I know nothing about IT. I'm shit with it. But I was just advising an IT fella this morning, setting up his own business. He's going, I don't know who to attract. I don't know how to find the people I want to talk to. So I sent him to a business park and I said, just walk around all of those businesses over there and just ask this question. What is your biggest challenge with your current IT suppliers? And you're forcing them to answer in a negative way about their current IT specialists. But honestly, I work with any business because at the end of the day, we're going to be talking to people. And that's what I love about what I do.
That's fantastic. And to get in touch, I've put your details at the bottom of the screen. That's the best contact, is it? That's what we absolutely love to see. Lawrence, thank you so much. Have you got any more questions, Elaine?
No. That was very interesting, definitely.
Well, I'm sorry, my technology has not been better this morning. I should have maybe brought my laptop and I could have put it into the pub's bloody Wi-Fi system. I didn't even think. I thought it'd be fine on my phone, but I promise I'll be better next time.
It's working brilliantly well. And, you know, just that spark of life that you bring to a conversation.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. I really do.
Love it.
You made an old man happy.
But it's energy and enthusiasm for the products, isn't it? It's caring. It's energy and enthusiasm and belief. You know, you have that when you're talking about your product.
I do really care. I 100% care about every single person I go out and see, and I do my utmost to help them. You know, at the end of the day, though, even I can't sell them all, and I still walk away shaking their hand, saying, "Thank you very much, sir and madam," because I understand the fact that they'll go and talk to somebody else who probably will buy off of me because I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Lawrence, thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to play a very short video, and then Elaine and I will come back on screen. And you won't be here anymore.
All right, thank you very much for having me. Take care.
Cheers, Lawrence. Bye. Bye. Bye.
I've got a Hero of the Week this week, Elaine, and you may well have one too. I didn't have a button that said Elaine's Hero of the Week. So I was going to put up Andy's Hero of the Week, but I didn't know I was thinking. So I want to give a great big shout out to someone called Judith West, who's one of our leaders in the club. Judith is an inspiration for the club. She's really positive, and one of life's true givers. So she works for a company called WPA, who do workplace healthcare plans. If you ever want to speak to someone about yourself and about how you can improve not just your financial well-being, which we've obviously had from Luke earlier, and about your sort of like motivation, which 100% kicks into Lawrence. Judith does all of that, but she does the well-being too, and it's the sort of link, and that's why being in the Cobra Club is so fantastic, because you meet these people who inspire you on a day-to-day basis and actually make you get out there and get on with things.
Yeah, no, well, you put me on the spot. The hero of the week, I don't know. I think the heroes of the week, as you say, for me, are the people I meet in the Cobra Club, because it's for me now, it's the only networking I do, and I just I love it, because the fact is there's so many people in it that you just get to meet different people every time you turn up.
Fantastic people.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're truly genuine people who are supporting each other, and I love that, because it's not always the case, is it?
No, absolutely not. And you just need, for me, it's that tonic, you know, especially when you work on your own at home.
Yeah.
You know, you are quite isolated, whether you like it or not, and to come into an environment which has people in there who basically pick you up and make you and drive you forwards.
Yeah.
Seb's agreeing with me, so thanks, Seb. And she is amazing, super lady, really nice and kind. And Judith has also commented. She's a WPA customer, and they are fantastic. I back her 100%, because it's a really fantastic organisation. So I think we can cover most of the bases here with the people we've had on the club today, Elaine.
I agree. And you know, I'm going to share a secret with you. I am meeting at 12:30. I am meeting Christy Norris face to face.
I know Christy Norris. Yeah,
I know. I know. So yes, we've been planning it a while, and we're meeting up today. So there you go.
That is really, really good. And Elaine, tell me a little bit just quickly about what you do and about how you can help people.
Fabulous, thank you, Ed. So I'm a sales and accountability coach. So what does that mean? Because I could call myself anything really, but I work with small business owners who are generally sole traders, and they're service based. So just as Lauren said before, it doesn't matter what they sell and what they do. It's more about what they want to do, where they are in the journey, and generally they are not speaking to the right people, or they're sort of talking to the right people but saying the wrong thing. But generally their business is not growing, and it could be a whole host of different reasons why. But that's where I start with people. It's where are you now, and where do you want to end up? and let's look at what is it you're missing, what do you need to be doing more of, what do you need to stop altogether. It's all that sort of stuff. So no two clients are the same. So I truly get Lawrence's enthusiasm when he's talking about people, and it is all about understanding the person, and I absolutely love that.
I think it's one of the lovely things about your meeting, because you had a meeting. When's your meeting at the Cobra Club?
It's Wednesday morning at 9 till 10, and it's called the Make It Happen Hub, and that's the bit, if you like. That's why I say sales and accountability, because when I work with people, that is the bit generally that they can, you can give them as many ideas and draw information out of them as you like, but actually unless there's a sort of, let's put some timelines in and actions and accountability here, then it very often it doesn't happen. So that's why I do my one-to-one coaching is sales and accountability. And yes, I've built huge business myself in the past. I've done all of that. So yeah, of course, there's a huge amount of training in there for those who want it. So it's a combination of all three, really.
I don't know if you find this. I mean, I talk to people about sales as well, and for me, meet wonderful people who are just wonderful, and I almost call it a telephone voice. You know, when people answer the phone and they change their voice when they answer the phone. But it's the same with salespeople. They go from being the really gorgeous people that they are to something that they think they should be, and they sort of almost procrastinate because of that and do nothing because they're trying to be something that actually they don't need to be. I think one of the beautiful things about your accountability side of things is that it gets people to start to move in the right direction. And if you start in the right direction, you take one foot in front of the other. I know it sounds really obvious, but actually, you can succeed and you can do really, really well. But sometimes you just need a bit of accountability so that you come back and you next week, if you like, to the next meeting, and you can see where you've moved. And these are small steps; they're not always perceivable if you look at it over a month. But on a day-to-day basis, you can see quite large changes.
It's so true. That be yourself. What my absolute favourite phrase ever is, be yourself because everybody else has already taken, and that's by Oscar Wilde. And it's so true that it's exhausting when you watch people and think, I should be like them. They're better than me. And you just think, no, this is like, you are the expert in your field and you are unique. It doesn't matter if you're selling the same thing as somebody else. You are unique as you are. Let's look at your strengths and what is good, because the people are going to be drawn to you because of your personality and your strengths. You don't need to be like that person because you won't be able to sustain that. And because you are not that person.
Well, you'd always be unhappy, really, trying to be someone different, wouldn't you? So true happiness and actually a real buzz out of the job comes from just believing in yourself and knowing that you're doing it the right way. But if we work as a team to do that, it's really effective. In fact, Judith says, highly recommends Fat Lady. And I can tell you from experience, because what you don't see, Elaine, is I see everyone coming out of your meeting and I talk to people inside the club, and there is nothing but positivity and respect. It's fab, really. It's quite lovely. And the difference for those people who use your services, you can see people getting better. It's fantastic. It's really exciting.
Oh, thank you. That's obviously, and that's really, why I'm in business, because I just want to help people and make a difference to people. I've done all those bits along the way. I've done the pain. I've done, and I know what it feels like when you just in that lost place. Well, I know.
If someone wanted a one-to-one with you, they could arrange that through the email that's flashing along the bottom.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just drop me a message. I'm always on LinkedIn. You'll always find me on there as well. Message me on there. I'm on there, every day, numerous times through the day. So you will always find me on there, and I absolutely love to chat with you. And, it all starts anyway, just with a chat. That's it. Because I might not be right for you. I might not be the right person to help you, but I can guarantee if I'm not the right person, I can direct you to the right person, because I either know them through the Cobra Club or my, extensive network.
I'm gonna play a short video now which just talks about all the different clubs that are on. Shall we alternate between them?
Yeah, go on then. Let's go.
Remember to turn your mic on.
Right, will do.
Okay, so I'm going to play this, and we can introduce all the different clubs. Here we go.
Okay.
So we've got lots of different events happening at the club. So it starts on a Monday morning with me doing Monday motivation, and that's at 9 till 10.
And also on Monday from 12 till 1 o'clock, we've got Nicholas Holmes, who talks about believing and achieving.
So important, such a great meeting as well. And then you can come and have a cup of coffee at the Coffee Collective with Christy Norris, who you're off to see this afternoon, and Hannah Matarazzo. A really lovely meeting where you can really just relax and talk to different people.
And on Monday evening, busy day Monday, 7 till 8, we have got Zafran Khan, who's doing Monday Mayhem.
And then my hero of the week on a Tuesday morning to get yourself started is Quest West with the inspiration that is Judith West, 10:30 to 11:30.
Fantastic. And then we've got the amazing David McKenna, who is Tuesdays at 3 till 4. He does a business quiz. It's a lot of fun in that quiz, let me tell you. A lot of laughing going on.
It's a great thing. And then the inspiration that is Elaine Atherton doing the Make It Happen Hub every Wednesday morning, 9 till 10. Come and get involved.
Perfect. And then we've got the Investment Lounge, which is Wednesdays at 10 till 11, and that is with David Lockett.
Get your money in your pocket with David Lockett.
I love it.
And then we do the big Meeting Talents event, which is every Wednesday, 7 till 9. It's with Andy and me. Come and get involved, Meeting Talents.
Yeah. And then we've got the lovely Yvonne Taylor, who's at 9 till 10 every Thursday, and she's doing the Jigsaw Hour.
And then you can join Kath Kirkland, a networking business generator, at 12 till 1. Again, Kath's an inspiration to come and meet her, force of nature.
And then we've got Chris Mason, who helped me out recently. So he's a real guy to get to know. So he's Thursdays at 1 till 2, and he's our techie guy.
And then I was chatting to her. She's on reception, or was on reception right now. First thing Friday, business networking every Friday, 8 till 9 with the gorgeous Louise Montblanc.
One of my favourites.
One of my favourites.
And then every Friday again from 1 till 2:30, we've got Alan Cadden, who is doing the Cobra Express.
Toot toot! Cobra Express. And then Sharon Ritchie finishes off on a Friday with Loose Women on the Wind Down, 4 till 5:30. A lovely meeting just to relax at the end of the week on Poets Day.
Love it. And then Property Club. Tell me more about that, Ed.
Well, we have a property club that runs for once a month with everybody who's interested in property. It brings together quite a large group of people where you can get help and advice on investing in property.
And we have the mixer hour, don't we? This is an hour. It's not hosted, but you can just drop in. And that is every day now, is it, Ed?
It is every day.
Yeah.
Come and join us. So come and get involved in the Cobra Club. It's a great place to be. If you'd like a virtual tour, you can come and book it. www.thecobraclub.co.uk and click on virtual tour and come and have a tour. Come and find out.
And of course, the 1st of December is an open day, isn't it? So find the link, book yourself in, and come and try everything out, because it's going to be an amazing day. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to get tons of nuggets from all the people who are presenting.
100%. So I think it's time for us to say over and out. Thank you so much for hosting today. It's been really great to be with you, Elaine.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
I'm very privileged. So I'm going to play a couple of videos and say, we've got one more comment. See where that's come through. There you go. The Property Club is one of Judith Hamilton's favourites. I know
Judith's into her properties. She's good. Thank you for the shout out there, Judith, as well. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Judith. And we shall say goodbye. I'm going to play a couple of videos, and Elaine, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Go. I've got to find the video, of course. So here we go. So over and out, everybody. Thank you very much. Come and get involved in the Cobra Club, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Now you're watching me. Yeah, all eyes on me. 'Cause I've been living the good life. So come fly with me into my fantasy. And we be loving the good life, good life.
I think this dream now just hit me. Why don't you just go there with me? Surfing the skies and splash in the clouds, dance in the crowds and laugh out loud. Holding your hand, unfolding a plan. Two souls in a land like gold in a pan. Float in the breeze or soak in the sea. Come go there with me where we both wanna be. Lie on the beach or fly in the streets. I'm trying to keep this vine in the reach. Putting everything I do aside, me and you are first. We can travel to the very end of the universe. You and me are meant to be divine energy. Living with no rules in a pool of serenity. Come be my fantasy, go away with me. Lock us up in a dream and throw away the key. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh, good love, we live free. Come on, live this up now. Good life, good laugh, good love now. Come on, live this with me. Good laugh. have good luck, we live free. We need to rise with these new eyes. Pull the disguise off of these blue skies. Lights in the city reflect off the shoreline. When you're living this life, you want more time. Rewind the time, align, plan this. Ride this comet to a new dynamic. Your eyes on me, mine on you. Living the good life, we do what
Now
we
you're
want to.
watching me.